Yeah! Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Friday, January 11th, midnight, Mountain Time. The new models are in, and the Midwest blizzard is moving north. Heads up, St. Louis. You're ground zero. There is no fear, though. Be prepared, not scared. Secondary system to bury the area just days later. We'll get to these models. Be prepared, not scared. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance in the future you're living. Keep calm. It's boom time. Hashtag boom time. Y'all do boom time. And that's a boom. Weekend snow from Denver to D.C. That's a double D. Hee. We could play that model, but it would just be garbage. The next winter storm is poised to leave a blanket of snow from my hometown to Washington. Actually, I was born in Philly. Major cities in between, like St. Louis, will be buried and could see the brunt of the storm with over half a foot of snow possible through the weekend, showing 16 plus through many of the hard-hit areas over the next 10 days. The storm will start to gear up Friday across central Colorado and then move east across the plains, making people in St. Louis insane. This storm is predicted to dump half of all of your annual snowfall in just 24 hours. Those will be hours of powers. While the snow will begin to fall across Missouri late Friday, there is a chance of some sleet arriving ahead of the snow Friday afternoon, bringing mayhem and misery to the area. A winter storm watch for most of eastern Missouri and southern Illinois includes 4.7 million people, which we call sheeple. The National Weather Service in St. Louis is calling for 5 to 7 inches of snow and some ice accumulations Friday through the Saturday and then the latter day, which will be not a fun day, and certainly not Sunday. Storm to strike the Appalachians and mid-Atlantic coast in the weekend. There's the bullseye, St. Louis, and she put on her best dress to talk about it.
As we get ready to head into the weekend, we're looking at a storm that's going to cause impacts across the Midwest before it sets its eyes on the Mid-Atlantic region, and we're talking about a good amount of snow here for areas like St. Louis. Look at that. We have the dark blue area right over I-44, I-55, and I-70. That's 6 to 12 inches of snow. You head immediately north into Peoria, also Chicago. The totals start to drop off, but still about 1 to 3 inches of snow possible out there. Kansas City looks like you'll pick up about 3 to 6 inches. That's into Saturday. And then Saturday, we'll continue to watch that storm work its way on east. It will produce snow out toward the Ohio Valley, Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The heaviest snow, however, is going to be closer to West Virginia, also the I-81 corridor. And then to the south, it's just plain old rain. But this is going to be a high-impact storm as we head into the weekend, so be prepared for some major travel delays and still some lingering snow showers into early next week. So here's what we anticipate as we head into Saturday night. Again, that storm is going to be moving its way on east. The darkest shading of blue for Saturday night, that's where the steadiest of the snow will be. So areas like Blacksburg, also Clarksburg, and back into the Ohio Valley. Snowfall amounts, it's going to be another Mid-Atlantic special here. D.C., 3 to 6 inches, 1 to 3 in Baltimore. You head farther south, you can see along I-95 and I-81, 6 to 12 in some spots.
6 to 12 in some spots, yeah. 400 square miles of 6 to 12. Let's get out of there. I'm escaping you. A weekend snowstorm, which may be the biggest of the season for some cities, but only the first major storm of dozens. Okay, shut up. Can we shut this up? Let's just do it. Yeah. A weekend snowstorm, which may be the biggest of the season for some cities, will slow down travel in the mid-Atlantic, while a wintry mix will cause disruptions. Now, this is just the first of a model through your Saturday, Sunday evening. This will be honed in on by tomorrow night. Watch our update. These numbers will change. There are going to be areas of 16 inches. They will be cinches somewhere in this region. But a secondary system is now predicted to move over the same swath that is hit, and they will be looking for places to put this snow. These people don't know how to store snow and more snow. Like when I plow my driveway, I do 3 plows, wide, 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 because I am preparing for 4 more storms, because at some point, once the snow gets 5 feet high, you can't plow it anywhere. You're stuck in a slot. A general 3 to 6 inches of snow is forecast from West Virginia to the southeastern Maryland, with local amounts of 1 foot to 16 inches are possible in the Appalachians and parts of east central Virginia. We're going to be watching it closely. Keep calm. It is boom time. Hashtag boom time. Yaldi boom time. And there will be snowfall Saturday and Sunday evening in the mid-Atlantic, Al. Are you warming my bullion? Are you scraping my bunion? I told you my heels are chapped. Get the 120 sandpaper and get your ass over here now and scrape my heels. Some snow is also expected to fall further north across PA and New Jersey. Turnpikes, portions of I-80 will be impassable. Dry, cold air is expected to limit and prevent snowfall from falling much further north. But wait until you see the models I will unleash on you in a moment. Similarly, the pattern does not favor the storm making a sharp turn to the northeast, so we can't call it a nor'easter. We'll call it a mid-easter. And it's not even Easter, but it's a beaster. I digress. Bitter cold prompts code blue in Philly. These are my stomping grounds. I sucked up all of the pollutants from this city for decades. The most disgusting area you could ever live, Philly North. Racial unrest, racial segregation, segregation of politics. It's disgusting. Republicans all live in one town, Democrats live in another. Corruption is in Republican side, corruption at the Democrat side. It's corrupt. It's a corporate controlled nightmare of pollution and debacle. Philadelphia has more vacant lots than any other city in America. 40,000 lots that could be growing food, or homeless people could be living on, for that matter. Completely wasted. Because the powers that be and the government that you people suck the teats from can totally suck it. Those of you who think there's hope for the future, I have news for you. I felt the same way 20 years ago. I even got into politics. There is no hope unless you're a trillionaire that owns a corporation and you can donate and switch the vote with your money. It's that funny. And it won't be sunny in bitter cold Philly. It will be snowing and it will be blowing. Let's check the models. Heads up, these just loaded through the 10-day. So we're going to see snowing outside right now. I just went outside and took a look. It started as rain sprinkles earlier, making a hard crust. Now we're going to have heavy avalanche warnings as heavy snow moves into the high country in the southern Rockies through the Four Corners region. You're looking at light to moderate snow through most of northern Arizona and New Mexico as the system develops. Saturday morning, Friday night, it's going to explode in Missouri. and northern Arkansas as it moves through western Tennessee and blows up. St. Louis, you're in the crosshairs looking like 14 inches right on the state line from Indianapolis and Missouri. Right there. Boom. Here are your 9s. 16 in the middle. Boom. Heads up. X marks the spot. It's going to move east. Dump heavy snows in the mid-Atlantic all the way down to South Carolina. The only snow that will be seen will be on the state line. And then here's your Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Another system is expected to dump heavy snow all the way up into Maine. It's insane. Through the Maritimes, Quebec City, eastern Quebec. You're effect. And we're going to be watching this blizzard develop, adding insult to injuries. Areas already pummeled with snow. Boom! Watch it. Right in the kisser. And look at the snow cover most of North America. When global warming alarmists predicted we'd never see snow, every king state is having heavy snow in January. Ow! Where are you? Make me a turkey pot pie. Get in your hole. I'm showing you pictures of what happened in the Maritimes back in 1789 during the Dalton Minimum. They burned the entire city and robbed everything. Blind. Crop loss and famine led to unrest. And it was cold for years, and they were like, who's coming after us and how are they going to get to us? If you have a snowmobile and you can go faster than they can, you can take whatever you want. And that's what happened back here in the Dalton Minimum. Sign of the times. A winter storm to impact central and eastern U.S. Inclement pattern over the west. Freeze warnings and watches all the way down into northern Florida and southern Georgia. Protect your sensitive plants or they're going bye-bye. A low pressure system will bring heavy snow and ice from portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley and Midwest, east across the mid-Atlantic and northeast this weekend. Hazardous travel conditions will be possible. Right now, 600 counties under winter storm warning and watch in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 states, including Colorado. It's no joke. Record snows were in solar minimum. Every 10 to 12 years, we repeat this pattern. Extreme cold warning in effect for Toronto as temperatures set to plunge. And he just took a bong hit. It's going to be frigid in the GTA. Hey, Toronto's top health officials issued an extreme cold weather warning Thursday as temperatures look to take a steep dive. And all you bitches and stitches and snitches can suck it. Because global warming is going to freeze your ass. Environment Canada forecast a high of -6°C for the day. That is the high temperature. It felt like -15 for the D-bags that went outside because Al Gore said there would be no more snow and it'd be warming up. Temperatures are expected to drop precipitously overnight with a low of -15°C holding into morning, and it will feel more like -24. And you will think Al Gore is a bore. An extreme cold weather alert is officially in effect for Mississauga. If you're in Mississauga, well, then you can pronounce it, bitches. Coldest air in the year floods into southern Ontario, which is where Mississauga is.
Of seasonal, but like I said, that's coming to an end as we head through Friday in towards the weekend as well. We've got a northwest flow, which is really going to be allowing that colder air in the north to flood further south in towards Ontario and Quebec. And we're looking at some of the coldest air of the season so far for some areas. and some of the coldest air since about a year ago. So I'll talk about those numbers. Taking a look at Friday morning, keep in mind we do have an extreme cold weather alert in place for the city of Toronto. Temperatures with the wind chills Friday morning, it's going to be feeling like the -20s in through the GTA, Golden Horseshoe, and a lot of southern Ontario. Over towards eastern Ontario and Cottage Country, it's actually going to be feeling like the -30s. So temperatures in Ottawa, -18, it'll be feeling closer to -30 with that wind chill. And then as we head throughout the weekend, you'll see temperatures will still be below seasonal, not as cold for southern Ontario, but it'll be eastern Ontario's turn to really feel that cold. In Ottawa, -24 for Sunday morning. Keep in mind, that's your temperature in the morning. It's going to be feeling even colder with the wind chill. We actually haven't felt temperatures this cold since back in the middle of January.
Of course they're parsing us now. They're shutting us down because we're telling you the facts. The facts are that you're going to freeze your ass off. This is where the glacial extent is.
Almost a year ago.
And you're fluxed. Yeah, you're sitting ducks. Glacial extent, glacial inception is at Baffin Island. And I can't get out of here. But I'm looking to try to do it. Let's do it! Whew. Holy macaroni. Thursday, January 10th, 2019, 6:12 p.m. The lake effect snow machine has powered down for now, but the clearer skies that have been seeing the week are being accompanied with the coldest temperatures ever. You're going to freeze your ass off in Timmins. -19 to -23, Sudbury -15, -20, Ottawa -14, -19, Kingston -10, -14, London -3, -8, Toronto -5, -10, Windsor -1, -6, Sault Ste. Marie, Sault Ste. My ass, if you live up there, -10, -15, Thunder Bay, you're booming, -9 and -14. Heads them up. Yes, it is not preloaded, but we're going to click on it so you can get it and you can live it. Let's get to it. New beast from the east could wallop the UK with extreme cold lasting until March. Brits are being warned to prepare for severe winter weather, although its effects haven't been felt yet. People are showing pictures and sharing cards and postals. Bundle up, more snow be on the way. With the winter threat for another beast from the east lingering, forecasters are warning extreme cold lasting into March, which is quite ludicrous because it's only January. 2019 could become a repeat of last year when extreme weather, including heavy snow, led to chaos across the Somerset. If the latest forecasts prove to be accurate, Brits could be in for some severe and life-threatening winter, in Devon Live reports. Before the cold snap hits, however, the weekend will bring above average temperatures where people will frolic on the beaches in Al Gore's global warming goodness. Heavy snowfall in the Alps leaves 6 dead and strands tourists. Those are, I don't even know what that is. Those are frozen cars or something. This is a snow-covered bridge in the Autobahn of Austria. Many roads have been shut. Berlin, once in a generation. Heavy snowfall has paralyzed travel and tourism in parts of the Alps, with conditions that have left at least 6 people dead, Austrian officials said on Thursday. Heavy snow, strong winds are projected to continue in Austria, parts of Germany until at least the Friday, bringing at least an additional 20 inches to the 50 centimeters of snow for the 24 hours to parts of the Alps that have already seen as much as the 10 feet over the past week. They are now making the slope to make the pyramid here, and that's the boom. Frost across India, oops, risk to rabbi crops. Yeah, does that mean ups the risk? In the wake of the cold waves affecting large parts of India that were reported on days ago, reports now of frost are emerging from multiple states, continuing the freeze and the death. Here, people live just in tents in a field, and you can see they're freezing their ass off. Air frost occurs when ground level air temperatures is below freezing. Wow, I can't. I'm so glad they made this article. Everything you should know about driving in snow is wrong. You know why? Because sometimes snow is cold and grippy, and sometimes it's wet and slippy. And if you don't live where there's snow, where you drive in it all the time, then you can suck it because you don't know how to drive in it. Most people are clueless. I drive every day, up and down, in and out, up and back, up and down, in and out. I drove up and down the mountain every day for 300 straight days. Snow, mud, slickery, slippery, toe straps included, because all day you're pulling people out of the gully. Pulling people out of the gully because they don't know that conditions change. Sometimes snow is good, sometimes snow is bad. I recommend, if you want to know how to drive on snow and you've been driving on it only infrequently recently, when you get on the snow condition in your area, you drive fast, you do donuts, you pump the brakes, you slam the brakes, and you see the stickiness of the snow. You need to work out the conditions in your area at the time you're driving. See how far you slide. See how far you can donut. See all of the conditions. And that will determine if you need four-wheel low, high, locked hubs, chains, etc. If you don't go through this protocol and you just get in your new car that's all-wheel drive and you think you're going to make it, then you can't take it. Because you don't know about prior proper preparation. All you know about is getting to the store or the mall to buy your garbage that's made in China that you don't need. But your $87,000 vehicle has auto balance, all-wheel drive, and it'll get me there. No, you're just an idiot. Ogden Nash describes winter as the season to be young, catching snowflakes on your tongue. Sure. Snow days are fun for children, but for drivers, like responsible ones like Diamond who pull people out of the ditch constantly, all you sheep need to wake the up. Winter weather is a hazard, and if you think all snow's the same, unsubscribe to the channel and lock yourself in your closet. Because you're going off a cliff. Seismic update, no quakes of note. Indonesia, 4.5. Most recent quake, 4.7 in Alaska. Interesting quake happening here up in Canada, 3.8 in St. John. Now we're running up the Appalachian Fault here, which is basically connected to the New Madrid. So heads up there, 4.7 in Tonga. No other quakes of note. 5.0 in Greece. Nominal. Not that phenomenal. But we have multiple quakes happening in Hawaii today, maybe 10 or 12. So heads up there in Kilauea. Probably the caldera collapsing after it was evacuated for months, destroying hundreds of homes. Worldwide volcano news update, Shivalush erupting. We're just getting to it. Awesome footage here of some kind of a apartment complex. Popocatépetl, Reventador, Planchon Petaroa, Ibico, San Cristobal. New one. Volcanic ash advisory coming out today. Clearly you can see the plume. I didn't even take a shroom. And it's barely afternoon. I have no idea what that is. Let's load these up. More good things to come. We're about to talk about one of our friends of the channel. But I heard that up north it's going to be cold because of the global warming. Yes, indeed. That is a boom. That is a boom. And we don't have any live stream. Odds of a weak El Nino are still good. But forecasters say it's not here yet. And they continue to play on buoys. Smoking their pot and putting in their paychecks, whatever they're doing here. Ding, ding. Oh yeah, ocean heat is climbing 40% faster than thought. You're all going to burn in hell. Sea level's rising. And look at that graph. The only unfortunate thing is they're talking about the surface water. And we showed you that 90% of the water is cooling. From the Maunder minimum, the mini ice age, and the Dalton minimum. And it's still dropping into the depths. As a whole, 90% of the ocean water is cooling while the surface is warming. And that's because the magnetosphere is waning. And more cosmic radiation hits the surface of the Earth every day. Burns your skin, gives you cancer, kills your crops, is frying the ozone. It's why the sun looks white. And those cosmic rays enter the subsurface and heat up siliceous rich magma at Popo, Sakurajima, Kuchinorabu, Asama, Torrealba, and Etna, which is puffing. But many scientists agree. There is a consensus that human CO2 makes little difference to atmospheric CO2. That is the consensus. Human CO2 is only a portion of atmospheric CO2, and there's no way to tell the difference, and it has nothing to do with temperature change. Thank you, edberry.com. In a world of wooden arguments, I bring you logic of steel. That's Ed Berry. The Anthropogenic Global Warming Hypothesis by Dr. Ed. Come check it out. It's refreshing. Like a spring breeze. Like a global warming beach day at minus 34. BBC News, climate change. Will insect-eating dogs help? How about if they make dog food out of soldier flies instead of GMO corn? I think it would be more nutritious, frankly. But it has nothing to do with global warming. GMO pet food gives dogs cancer. If you want to know why your dog has 100 giant tumors on his body at the age of 13, it's because of the cheap food that you bought. You cheap prick. These 1,000-year-old blue specked teeth could and have rewritten medieval history. Now this jaw right here actually has chunks of lapis lazuli around the teeth. In the enamel, in the plaque that they scraped off. And the skull is titled B78. And she had lapis in her mouth. And that means she was a scribe that was writing documents and painting them at 1,020 years ago. When they claimed that women didn't do any of these jobs. Only men. Which turns out to be the exact opposite of the truth. Because I remember the women that were hired to paint iridium onto the watches, and they all died of horrible radiation poisoning. They were women too. So clearly history is written by the assholes that are men. The fearmongers, the elites, that are part of the mystery schools that control the masses so that they can fatten the wealth of their asses at the expense of millions. It must be some sort of control mechanism where they capture your soul, literally, and they brainwash you and they own you because billions of people continue to do it. They continue to follow the doctrine. They continue to pay their taxes. And they continue to go to work for their boss and so on and so forth. Because without it, we would never be able to live on this earth. I mean, how could it ever happen unless we gave all our money to rich people that squander it and fly around the earth at $30,000 a flight in their jet plane for no apparent reason, while millions of people don't even have 3 cents to buy food. People are taking $30,000 daily flights, paid for by your taxes, while millions starve. And anyone watching this channel that calls himself a Christian, that goes to church and puts money in that fucking basket, please unsubscribe and burn yourself, you fucking pedophile supporting asshole. You can suck it. You are the bane of the humanity on this earth. You support the rapists and the control mechanism that has gotten us in this fucking situation, you pathetic fucking shills. I hope you die of cancer now. And it hurts. Earth's magnetic field is acting up and geologists don't know why. This is in nature. This is a blatant lie. For 50 years we've known geologists that seafloor spreading, the development of the plate tectonics model, and we have proved through Navy research vesicles and billions of dollars of research that there are magnetic anomalies in strips on the seafloor at regular intervals that correlate from one side to the other. And this came out today, January 9th. Geologists don't know why. I don't know what geologists they ask, because every geologist that I know knows why. Apparently not the ones that are paid by nature. This is pathetic. This is the exact opposite of facts. Every geologist knows why the Earth's magnetic field is acting up. Because it's flipping. Like it has done for millions of years that we have data for. Now we've had this data for over 5 decades, and geologists don't know why the magnetic field is acting funny. Oh my God, I wonder why it's acting funny. These graphs represent magnetic flips from positive to negative, positive to negative. These are magnetic reversals. And what you're looking at is 10 million years. Starting in the middle, both sides are the same 10 million. Left and right. So this spike is this spike. And this spike is the same as that spike. And this double spike is the same as this double spike. These are the magnetic reversals on Earth that are periodic and episodic. And if you come here to the microdata, they happen every 12,000 years. Major magnetic reversals here, up and down, every 100,000 years. Just like the GSM shows. But somehow, Nature.com has scientists that don't know why the magnetic field is moving towards the equator. Is that insane? I can't even fathom how corrupt Nature.com is. I can't fathom it tonight. When I look at this article, this is a blatant lie. This title is bullshit. Everything about the title is bullshit. Everything about the whole concept is bullshit. And you can just Google seafloor spreading and magnetic reversals, and in 5 seconds, if you went to the 5th grade, you will understand why this title is bullshit. Because the magnetic field of the Earth flips on regular intervals all the fucking time. Yeah, we've been proving it for decades, yet Nature.com claims that geologists have no idea what is going on. We don't know what's going on. Never heard of it. I never heard of such a thing. I have no idea why the magnetic field would be acting up. No idea. It's sickening Thousands of stars have now been observed that are turning into crystals. You know why? Because terrestrial planets are dead stars. Gas giants are dead stars. And live stars are stars. And all those things form solar systems, which makes complete sense. And you know what asteroids are? Broken up planets. Asteroid belts are broken up planets, which used to be gas giants, which used to be stars. There are no aliens on Mars. There might have been. But they're dead now. There could be bacteria and maybe people living underneath. But the point is that planets are ancient stars, or ejected from stars, or ejected from gas giants, but we're all the same animal. These are just different levels of the plasma scaling model, and now it's coming to light. All the information is coming to light. The first evidence of gigantic remains from star explosions just came out today too. Wow, they just found a star that explodes every year. It's supernovas every year. The super remnant, larger, almost known remnants of supernova explosions is consistent with being built up by frequent nova explosions over millions of years. And they still refer to them as supernovas, as if the star is missing. The star is still there. The amount of disinformation is disgusting. It's all, why are you even reading it? Because it's completely garbage. Here's the paper, a recurrent nova super remnant in the Andromeda Galaxy. And they claim that this is nova almost annually. every year. It novas every year. How can a star nova every year if a supernova destroys a star? That is an oxymoron. It's antithetical to the idea. Don't you think these ideas have to be rewritten so we can understand what they're saying? They don't even know what they're saying. Supernovas destroy stars, but supernovas can happen every year for millions of years at the star. That doesn't make sense, you idiots. And I'm not talking about you listeners. I'm talking about the mainstream scientists that get your tax dollars, that fund them from the National Science Foundation and the CIA to publish garbage that has nothing to do with facts or nothing to do with current theories. And it just doesn't make any sense. Because all geologists that I know why Earth's magnetic field is acting up, all of them. Not a single geologist that I know is like, oh, the Earth's field is flipping? I didn't know that. None of them. So who are these geologists that they paid that don't know why Earth's magnetic field is acting up? I want to meet one of them. If you're one of them, come to LeakCon. Call me. Call me on my phone. Email Oppenheimer Ranch Project at gmail.com. I want to meet the geologist that doesn't know that magnetic reversals are occurring regularly on Earth. Because he didn't go to school, he didn't take Geology 101, he didn't get his undergraduate degree, and if he did, he didn't remember any of the information that he was taught about magnetic reversals, which are very critical in understanding the dynamics of Earth, its systems, stratigraphic, petrographic, volcanic, every level. You have to know this to begin to understand the science of geology. If you don't know this graph that I'm showing you, then you're not a geologist. And if you're some of the people that put your name on that paper that say you don't know what's happening with the magnetic field on Earth, you're a liar! You're a fraud. And you're really pissing me off. Oh my God! LeakCon 2019, Denver, Colorado, May 18th to 19th. where there will be scientists there that are well aware of magnetic reversals. In fact, Doug Vogt, who's been a scientist for 5 decades, he knew about these magnetic reversals in the 70s. So currently, the geologists that are from the 1920s and the 1910s, they never heard of magnetic reversals. They don't know why the Earth is acting so funny. Wow, I wonder if that's because of misinformation of their entire career. Rex Baird, David Dubine, Adrian D'Amico, John D'Souza, Laird Scranton, Robert Felix. Yours truly, Greg Allison, Christian Westbrook, Lee Wilbarger, Thor News, Hemp Lucid, Bill Wetstein. And the list grows. The tickets are only 20% off for 21 more days. And then they're full price. So you might as well save the money now. The Queen of Courts Hard Rock Miner. No one is finer than this woman. She sent me a massive 20-pound quartz point. She sent Leah one of her one-of-a-kind crystal pendants. Phantom Amethyst from Ontario, I believe. Queen of Quartz at netspectrum.ca. Ethically hand-mined minerals for 30 years. Open to the public for the first time. Learn about them. Learn about the collection. Carvings. Check out their shop. Support this channel. Support this website. Check out some of Joe King's giants. They sent me something like one of these babies. They're crazy. These are like 30-pound quartz points. Some of them are smaller. You can see them here holding this nice cluster. But if you need some nice points and you want some ethically mined hard rocks from a female, check out the Queen of Quartz. That's all I can say. Do it. Do it now before it's too cold and they can't mine quartz up there anymore. They only have 3 months a year now to go find rocks. Regardless of what Al Gore says. I might have been over the top tonight. But it's my personal opinion that the way I was affected in delivering this podcast is not over the top. In fact, it was probably way less than should have been unleashed. If you still support the Catholic Church and you go there on Sunday, I don't want you watching my show because you're supporting rapist priests that will never be held accountable. They may be raping your own children. How sick are you to still be supporting that garbage facility? The Roman Catholic Church are pedophiles. I don't care if you feel good going into the church and singing songs. Do that at home where priests aren't raping your children. You can find like-minded people that sing hymns and homilies, and you can do it in a field where everyone knows they're not raping your children at Sunday school, which is where I got beat by corrupt priests in that same facility. Not to mention that I was raped by Christians. Did you know that 1 out of every 4 people you know was raped by someone in their family? If you didn't know that, then you are far away from knowing the truth of anything. The society you live in is sick and corrupt. And it is why mental illness is rampant and fat people are everywhere. They think that food is diet soda and potato chips. They don't know food comes from seeds, from plants, and that eggs shoot out of the ass of birds. Wake the fuck up. I'm sick of it.